I just see it as instrumental music, really. It's obviously very percussive and using these techniques a lot, but really it's just instrumental music and trying to think orchestrally, if you like, so with many parts and building up as bigger textures as possible, really. I suppose it falls into a jazz kind of realm because of chords. You know, it's all about, I'm sort of obsessed by rich and especially dark sounding chords. But yeah, it's instrumental stuff. My approach to percussion is kind of a two-movement thing, because I always want everything that I do to be a flowing motion. Okay, I want to be, especially when it comes to performance, to be as free as possible. So any kind of thing that I'm doing, all this kind of stuff where we're using the percussive sounds, everything is in, it's almost like strumming, okay? So in one tune that I do, Stolen Lines, where we've got this kind of 6/8 rhythm, that's, to me, I'm just taking a strumming pattern and turning that into percussive hits. So that 6/8 rhythm is just down and ups, and I'm just translating that into, so a downstroke for me on the body of the guitar is like turning like this, or an upstroke is turning like this. So everything that I'm doing, even if it's percussively, it's like extending what you would do on the guitar normally and just moving to sort of hit different parts of the body. Really, quite a lot of it is coming from string percussion. That's where the main beat is coming from, away from ornamentation, and that's really come from the sort of John Martin finger rolls and the sort of slap bass way of looking at things, but still sort of conforming to this idea of down and up strokes. So looking at that song again. To me, I'm just strumming. I can flip between sort of strumming and slapping. I do a lot of sort of left-hand percussion as well. So if I'm doing a slapped sort of rhythm or finger-picked rhythm, but once again I'm switching between the two because it's just like down and up strokes to me, and then using my left hand to introduce percussion as well. So a really simple rhythm of something like that with your right hand. When we introduce the left, everything comes to life. So yeah, I really have that string percussion thing, holding everything down, and then the body percussion, but really seeing it in a sort of an ornamentation way, rather than trying to replace a drummer, because it doesn't do that. And then alter tuning's really, I mean, it's not so much a technique, but that's really, really crucial as well. So the pickup that I have in here is called a Mimesis Kudos, and it's made by a guy called Mike Banen. And it's two parts to the pickup. We've got a sort of a magnetic part of the pickup, which is, if I switch it off, is for me giving this sound. And then we have the microphone, which is just on the side of the pickup, which is giving this sound. And I use each signal very, very differently. So I'm really trying to push the magnetic pickup to get all the bass, real punch, and some of the mid-tones as well. Whereas I'm using the microphone really just mainly on really, really deep tones for sounds like this, and then really sort of super highs to get the attacks and the scrapes on the guitar to sort of, but it's the two signals that come together, because when you're playing live, obviously, the more you push it, because I'm after a really big sound, the more problems you have with feedback. So having separate channels, I can take out frequencies from the mic and replace them with the other one. So you end up with this really, really full, sort of non-acoustic sound, And then pedalboard wise, I'm going through a 10-band EQ as well, which is really important to cut out those irritating frequencies that are causing you problems, and also to boost those higher frequencies on the mic. And then this is talking about the mic channel. So the mic goes through the 10-band EQ, then it goes to a reverb. Reverb's really important for me as well. The tone of the reverb, I really want this dark sort of reverb sound. I'm completely obsessed with Batman soundtracks for new films. I just love this massive sort of dark sound. So having a good pedal to make sure that you're bringing out the sort of darker tones. Then I go into a delay pedal for different songs, and then my magnetic pickup just goes through a tuner, and then it goes into its own separate reverb, so I can treat that differently. So it's just as dark sounding as the other one, but it's much longer and more lively, so that my percussive hits have a slightly different reverberation to the sound of the strings. It's really crucial. And then I'm obviously using a stomp box as well, which is it's just heavily EQ'd, but it doesn't really go into anything, so that I can sort of pronounce certain sort of phrasing or whatever. Especially, that's really a live thing, and that's come from when I first started out and playing in bars where everyone was, completely well-oiled and ignoring me, and probably slightly disappointed that an instrumental guitarist is there rather than someone playing Brown Eyed Girl. So I had to sort of get people's attention, and doing that really sort of made people go, oh yeah, okay, I'll listen to you. And it's sort of stuck, and I've used it in more and more of a minimal way, but it just lifts a piece, and whatever audience you're doing, it really makes a difference, because people love rhythm and sub bass. People are addicted to sub bass, whether they realise it or not,